Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You want to do introduction? Everybody knows me. You don't know me.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। आज हमारा परम सौभाग्य आज हमारे बीच श्रीमद् भागवतम पे प्रवचन देने के लिए हिज ग्रेस कलाकांत प्रभु। प्रभु जी का संक्षिप्त परिचय अपने शुद्धिकरण के लिए। प्रभु जी इस्कॉन जीबीसी मिनिस्टर हैं काउ प्रोटेक्शन और एग्रीकल्चर के लिए 2015 से। वो इस्कॉन जीबीसी स्ट्रैटेजिक प्लानिंग नेटवर्क के भी सदस्य हैं 2013 से। प्रभु जी का जो जन्म है वो ब्राज़ील में हुआ और उनका जो परिवार है उसमें ही फार्मिंग और एग्रीकल्चर के वो प्रोफेसर्स के परिवार से आते हैं और वो फार्म कम्युनिटीज़ के लिए 1994 से कार्य कर रहे हैं। उन्होंने इस्कॉन के बहुत सारे फार्म्स में काम किया है पूरी दुनिया भर में और कई सारे फार्म प्रोजेक्ट्स को वो किस प्रकार से सादा जीवन उच्च विचार के हिसाब से जिया जाए वहाँ पे जाके अपना प्रशिक्षण प्रदान करते हैं। प्रभु जी ने बहुत ही सफलतापूर्वक इस्कॉन कॉन्टिनेंटल फार्म कॉन्फ्रेंसेस को पूरी दुनिया भर में आयोजित किया है। यूरोप, नॉर्थ अमेरिका, साउथ अमेरिका और रशिया में उन्होंने ऐसे जो फार्म्स हैं उसको स्थापित किया है और ऑस्ट्रेलिया, साउथ ईस्ट एशिया और अफ्रीका में उनके ये जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं वो कार्यान्वयन में हैं। तो प्रभु जी आज हमारे बीच में अपना संग देने के लिए, प्रवचन देने के लिए, प्रभु जी का स्वागत करने के लिए सभी एक बार हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र बोलेंगे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रेस कलाकांत प्रभु जी की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। हिंदी प्रवचन पीछे होगा, जो भी भक्त हिंदी में सुनना चाहते हैं वो पीछे बैठ सकते हैं।
In the back? Okay. So thank you very much for having me here in Ujjain. Whatever he said, 80% is because of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Maharaj, when he saw me, middle-aged young man, trying to spread the message of agriculture and cow protection alone, his heart became molten because he had a very soft heart. So he saw he's trying to serve, but what condition does he have? So he immediately came forward, and many of the things he said, the conferences, were because His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami was pushing, he was introducing, he was bringing, he was introducing me to great Vaishnavas like Giriraj Swami in Los Angeles. They were just having prasadam, and I happened to pass, and Maharaj looked, oh, Maharaj, this is Kalakantha. And then he started glorifying as he glorifies everyone. That's the nature of a pure devotee. So it's a pleasure to be here in his home, and I can see so many of you doing such a nice service. So thank you for having me here and for giving me the opportunity to share a few words on Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, I usually say I'm just a student on the path of bhakti, and I'm going to share with you whatever realization I've picked up along the road. So don't expect a Guruji, but simply as a student sharing with you my humble realizations. My second statement is I was born in Brazil, and Brazil and India are kind of friends, so you can come closer. I'm a friendly man, and Brazil and India have this good relationship. Brazilian people love the Indian culture. They think it's cool, yoga, so many different things. And India somehow loves Brazil, football. I think football is the main point. But also Brazilians are like Indians. Brazilian people are very religious. They sometimes walk 100 kilometers on foot for prayers. And so in India, we also Govardhan Puja, or Govardhan Hill. You see so many people going around doing penances. And differently from what is pictured, like India is a poor country and Brazil is a central country. These are very external ideas. The Indian I met was an India of culture, of architecture, of philosophy, of deep understanding of God. So like Brazil also has some deep dimensions which most people are not aware. And the people from Brazil, they have something from India. I guess Ramachandra, he went in a tunnel and he stepped outside of Bharata. He stepped in Brazil to wake up Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna was sleeping in Brazil and he went to, to get him. So it said there was a tunnel between India and Brazil. And Ramachandra went all the way to Brazil. In fact, there's a place there called Pindorama. Pindorama. And this place seems to be a place. Anyhow, I'm in India because there's a lot of work to be done around cow protection and agriculture. In fact, this is your heritage. This is your strength. India has so many villages. And our founder Acharya, when he started the movement, he had some ideas how we should organize ourselves. And now that India is so prestigious to the point that a prime minister comes to our functions as a daily function. He comes to Mayapur, he comes to Delhi. It's such a fluent conversation between ISKCON and the leadership of India. So it's a great time. It's a great opportunity for us to think big. How shall we organize ourselves? And Prabhupada had in mind what he called the Kishan movement, the farmers' movement. And he was thinking about this in Hyderabad. So recently, His Grace Krishna Kishore Prabhu was preaching there. And everybody was appreciating his katha so much. And in that session, I shared with him, and in Hyderabad I said, Prabhupada came to Hyderabad for two reasons. One, Hyderabad is the door to the south of India. And second, he wanted to start the Kishan movement, the farmers' movement. And for all of you who are brahmacharis, preachers, book distributors, it's really fun to go to the village. Because you go, you distribute books, you do prasada distribution, and village people are like Bengali mothers. They embrace you. They give you everything. They give you time. They give you opulence. It's a great experience. And Padayatra, the Padayatra in India has that realization. How welcoming the villages are. You all may have memories in your childhood or your father's childhood. You were in a village and everything was peaceful. And there was so much opulence and so much relationship. And now we are here in a city. Time is short. Distance are big. Prices are big. Everything is more difficult. So Prabhupada had a vision how to organize our society. So reading from today's verse, I try to make a little bridge about this. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, text number 2. Is that? Yeah. So reading the Sanskrit, it says, Sauchakashi davalo daro daro. Sauchakashi davalo daro daro. Piyuru kramasya daroshana shonima. Dadmanayamana karakanja sampute. Dadmanayamana karakanja sampute. Yatabjakande kalahamsa utsvanam. Yatabjakande kalahamsa utsavam. Devotees? Sauchashashe davalo daro daro. Api upamasya daro nashonima. Karakanja sampute. Yata jakande kalahamsa utsavana. Sauchakashe davalo daro daro. Ati Ukramasya Darashona Shonima Nayamana Karakanja Sampute Ataja Kande Kalahamsa Utsavana. Mataji? Sauchakase Davalo Daro Daro Ayukramala Darashona Shonima Dayamana Karakanja Sampute Ajakande Kalahamsa Utsavana. Sa that Uchakashe became brilliant. Davala Udaraha white and fat, bold. Dara conchal. Api although it is so. Urukramasya of the great adventurer. Adara Shona by the transcendental quality of his lips. Shonima reddened. Dharma Yamana being sounded. Karakanja Sampute being caught by the grip of the lotus hand. Yata as it is. Abjakande by the stems of lotus flowers. Kalahamsa ducking swam. Utsavana loudly sounding. So the translation goes like this. The white and fat bold conch shell being gripped by the hand of Lord Krishna and sounded by him appeared to be reddened by the touch of his transcendental lips. It seemed that the white swan was playing in the stems of the red lotus flowers. So let's repeat that. The white and fat bold conch shell being gripped by the hand of Lord Krishna and sounded by him appeared to be reddened by the touch of his transcendental lips. It seemed that a white swan was playing the stems of red lotus flowers. Very poetical, huh? Purport. The redness of the white conch shell, due to the lip touch of the Lord, is a symbol of spiritual significance. The Lord is all spirit. The matter is ignorance of this spiritual existence. Factually, there is nothing like matter in spiritual enlightenment. And this spiritual enlightenment takes place at once by the contact of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The Lord is present in every particle of all existence, and he can manifest his presence in anyone. By ardent love and devotional service to the Lord, or in other words, by spiritual contact with the Lord, everything becomes spiritually reddened like the conch shell in the grip of the Lord. And the Paramahansa, or the supremely intelligent person, plays the part of the ducking swan in the water of spiritual bliss, eternally decorated by the lotus flower of the Lord's feet. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanam Janam Shalakaya Chakshuran Militanyana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasaji Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This was before breakfast. Everybody has a soft voice. Let's hear you. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Ah, that's better. So, this part of the Srimad Bhagavatam is a very beautiful part. Lord Shri Krishna is coming back to Hastinapura. And when we look back, a little background, what has happened? The Kurukshetra war has been a very devastating war. And many dear ones have left their bodies. Just to give you a perspective, now, many of our very beloved spiritual masters are leaving the planet. Some 5 years ago, when His Lord's Bhakti Swami left, it was a completely traumatic experience for me. I didn't know how to take it, because when I heard it, I couldn't understand how it had happened. But I wasn't following all the news. I just got the final news. So it was very shocking. Recently, His Holiness Bhakti Badri Narayana Maharaj left his body in Vrindavan while sleeping peacefully. Many times in GBC meetings, Maharaj would give chastisements to the ministry. And he's famous for being very sharp. But then he would come and he would give us such encouragement that would move us. And so many of our beloved will soon depart because Krishna will call them. Now you can imagine in the scenario where Bhishma Dev was so beloved by everyone. He was the one who had this vow, this impossible vow, never to get married to protect his father. And all the different members of that assembly were very dear. You can imagine the children of Arjun, the Pandavas, they were killed brutally by Ashwatham. And Ashwatham brought the heads of those children to Duryodhana to say, "Here, I have avenged them. Now no one is living that was your enemy." But Duryodhana immediately understood this is completely ignorance. And later on this would prove so. So all of these events have taken places, including the death of Bhishma Dev, who was lying on the bed of arrows with a very specific purpose. He was there to tell everyone what is Dharma. And if I ask you, what is Dharma? One first question is not to sleep in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That is Dharma. If you're sleeping, you're running out of Dharma. So wake up. What is Dharma? How would you define Dharma? Anyone in the room? Yes. Is to? Can you say in English?
Dharmam to Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam, what is told by Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is Dharma.
Can you repeat slowly? Because you speak fast.
What is told by Supreme Personality of Godhead for the welfare of all living entities, that is Dharma.
The welfare of all living entities. Yes, that's one aspect of Dharma. What is Dharma? Digging a little more. Prescribed duties, he said. Prescribed duties. Yes, that's also Dharma.
Yes. The intrinsic nature.
Some scholars in your assembly. Intrinsic nature. You cannot remove heat and light from fire. It's part of that. You cannot take liquidity from water. You can freeze it, but it will come back to liquid. And what is the dharma of us, entities, living entities? To serve. Nobody can stop serving for one moment. I'm serving you, giving the class. You're serving your spiritual master, listening to the class. You're serving this carpet industry by using the carpet. The carpet industry is producing a carpet for you to sit. So everybody is serving everyone. The mothers are nurturing the homes and serving everyone, and everybody thinks they do nothing. That's the biggest service you can do, to nurture society and humanity and educate in spiritual knowledge. So intrinsic nature, yes, there are two more good definitions of Dharma. Silent, yes. To follow the instructions of spiritual masters, yes, that's Dharma, for sure. To follow the Mahajanas, yes. There's a principle behind it. And I'll tell you what it is. You want to know? Dharma is when you have the situation you are now and the ideal situation. The attempt to bring the two together, that's Dharma. So you're trying to purify your existence. Right now we are in a certain level, but we want to be pure. We want to go back to Godhead. So that effort is Dharma. It's one of the definitions of Dharma. And the third definition of Dharma, you have to develop qualities. To be able to be a devotee, you have to be peaceful. You have to be austere. You have to be truthful. All these qualities, especially if you're the treasurer, you have to be very truthful. And if you're a preacher, the more truthful you are, the more the people will accept the message. Confirmed 3 times. And when somebody meets you on a book distribution on the street, if you're practicing honestly, your face will be beaming like the sun. Jai Shishi Gaurnitai ki, Shishi Krishna Balaram ki jai, Nishingadev ki jai. So many deities. Beautiful. It's the spiritual world, right? You're in the middle of the spiritual world. Nowhere you can escape. Different realms. So if your face is beaming like the sun, people will come to you to get the books. Not you have to chase them. Because everybody is looking for happiness in this world. And if you have it, they want to know how you have it. Like I heard in the Gaura Purnima, 32 sets of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita just went. Haribo! That's happiness. That's pure bliss. So, Dharma is when you cultivate virtues, qualities. You need to do that. So Bhishma Dev is trying to give that scenario. And just before that, just after that, Queen Kunti is making her prayers. And she's praying to the Lord in a state of total dependence. Actually, her prayers are so important that many people have written. Srila Prabhupada has written a book called Prayers of Queen Kunti. And very recently, Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj wrote Healing Prayers. Beautiful book. Where he compares the prayers of Queen Kunti to the mantras to open the heart, our heart. So we can go inside the heart and see the Lord face to face. So in her prayers, when she's asking, may the calamities come, what is she saying? Is she asking for problems? No. What she's saying is, when the calamity comes, when you have a disease, you lose somebody very dear, you lose money, you lose your phone. Today is one of the biggest calamities in the world, you lose your phone, right? Your bank account, your contacts, everything, your whole identity lost. She's asking for calamities. Because she's thinking, when the calamity comes, I get a chance to remember Krishna unconditionally. And that situation of her prayer is very much, I'm going to read a little part. When Prabhupada says, we're talking of Dharma, developing qualities, and humility is one of these qualities. And why is humility so important? I'm going to choose a candidate. Why is humility so important? Because Krishna loves it, correct. And everybody on the pictures, you don't have many pictures here, but everywhere else you have pictures of Krishna. Everyone on the picture is humble. Except when he's killing a demon who is not humble. Everybody else is humble. That is the thread of our parampara, humility. And Prabhupada writes, knowledge of God may turn either into love for Him or fear for Him, depending on what this knowledge meets in the person's heart. Now see what Prabhupada is saying. Depending on what you have in the heart, you have fear for God. Some religions say you have to fear God, or you have love of God in your heart. In the heart of a humble person, knowledge turns into trust and love, while in the heart of a proud man, it turns into fear. Srila Prabhupada once gave a wonderful definition of humility to his disciple, Harivilas Das. He said, humility means that you are convinced beyond any doubt there is nothing in this world, absolutely nothing in this world. Not your money, not your family, not your fame, not your gun, not your education. Nothing will save you except the mercy of Krishna. When you are convinced like this, then you're humble. So humility, as we're speaking, is this quality of understanding Krishna is the only one capable of protecting me. He's the only one capable of opening the door of my heart. He's sitting in my heart, but I cannot go inside my heart because I am navigating in the superficial waters of my heart. And what is that? Shopping center, the mall, the new iPhone. We're thinking of so many things. Even in our ashram, sometimes we're thinking like that. I need to be better than my neighbor. Sometimes we need superficial validations, and those stop us from diving deep into the heart. And if the heart has humility, that humility will turn into love. So that's what Queen Kunti was praying. She was praying that her mind goes to the Lord like the Ganges flows to the ocean. So that's her prayer. Now, we are supposed to be the warriors of the truth on the street. We're supposed to be the ones who, when we're out there, we are giving people the truth. We're giving people everything that there is. When we hear Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talking to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, one of the points he makes is that in order to teach, you have to practice. So that's a reminder that when we are very sincere in our prayers, the Lord will manifest personally from that. And today, when the Lord is coming in this verse, He's coming to Dwarka and He's blowing His, what is the name of His conch? Panchajanya. That conch becomes red out of the touch of His lips. And this reminds us in the Bhagavad Gita when the same Lord with the same conch blew it. And what happened to the hearts of all the ones who were not His devotees? They became fearful because His sound is transcendental. So the Lord now is coming to Hastinapura, and the inhabitants of Hastinapura are waiting for Him. So that sound is like the Lord is coming. Like when you have darshan Aarti and the conch is blowing, the Lord is giving his darshan. Let's all come to greet him. And to be able to do that, we need to overcome our fear. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a sannyasi, but his heart was covered by impersonal conception of God. What does that mean? He could not see the person of God. He could not enter his heart to see the person of God. Therefore, there was fear. And that fear is completely destroyed when the Lord is in contact with his devotee. So when he saw the Lord jumping in the air and falling flat on the ground in front of Jagannath, that vision of the beauty of the Lord broke, purified his conception of impersonal God. And then Lord Chaitanya, he defeats him because he understands if he defeats Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he'll defeat all the impersonal followers of him. Like that, today, all of you are in touch with the top intelligentsia of India. So if we use the same technique that Lord Chaitanya used, which is putting people in contact with Krishna, that in itself is enough to purify everyone. So reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, reading Srimad Bhagavatam is the weapon who can make us successful in this movement. And we need to read. I say this to myself because I was doing so much management that I couldn't read what I should read every day. But now I made a point. I need to read. And I was talking to Vaisheshika Prabhu in Mayapur and says, what is the trick? He says, sage by page. And then he's giving all these different apps and tools. And it's really important for us when we actually read the scriptures because something exceptional happens. We take help of the samvit potency of the Lord. The samvit is the knowledge. The transcendental knowledge will cut all the unwanted anarthas in the heart. And we'll be able to go in the heart. And in the heart, we're able to glow. So the inhabitants of Dwarka are becoming ready to receive the Lord. And the next verse will be explaining what happened when the Lord entered into Dwarka. So I had more things to say, but I'll stop here just to give a chance for interactions, for questions, or maybe corrections on this topic. Yes. One question from the back.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभु जी, सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य जी जो थे वो कलयुग के जो पावन अवतार है जगन्नाथ जी, उनके मंदिर में ही रहते थे, तो भी उनको मतलब कैसे पहचान नहीं हुई महाप्रभु की, चैतन्य महाप्रभु
in English, I don't understand Hindi yet. Very good question. Why didn't he's there in front of Jagannath, why didn't he get the mercy, right? Just see, every day, Jagannath, Baladev Subhadra, Sri Krishna Balaram, Sri Radha Govinda, Radha Krishna, Radha Madan Mohan, all the aspects of Krishna here, Gaurnitai, Nishingadev, and hundreds of people come through. But one in these 100 people will come, inquire, and surrender. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, even though he is Brihaspati, he's such a learned sage, but he was covered by the impersonal aspect of the Lord. And that's considered to be the most dangerous trap. Because when you kill the Lord, the personality of the Lord, you also kill your identity. It's a suicide. It's a negation of the Lord and a spiritual suicide. It's a very dangerous position. So he was, how can I say, he was, I found the word in Portuguese. You know when you have these cars which bulletproof, what is it called? the car when you cannot put a bullet through the car. What is it called in English? Bulletproof. It's a bulletproof. So he was bulletproofed against Bhakti because of this mentality of God is impersonal. He was like, there was a rekha around him. He could not penetrate. And that rekha is happening to us with the material attachments. So when we keep material attachments, we cannot go deep and relish the nectar of the holy names. Isn't it? One of the offenses is to keep material attachments, even though you have listened to so many instructions about this. Why is it? Because you can't relish the interaction with the Lord. So even though Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a great Pandit, in front of Jagannath, he could not understand the Lord. But by the mercy of the devotee, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was able to understand. So only by your mercy, when you go out on Harinam and book distribution, someone who is in illusion can break that cycle and now start to wonder, there is someone superior. There's a person. What is my relationship to him? Isn't it what happened to you too? There's a book, you read it, and boom, transformation. How many of you came in contact with Krishna because you read a book? Hands up. A good number. How many of you came because of prasadam? I was a young teenager in Hyderabad, and the friends of my father called us for prasadam, so we took prasadam. That's how I started to be attracted to Krishna consciousness. And if you count Amma Chitra Katha as literature, I also was in contact with books. But when I really received the Bhagavad Gita, that was a transformational bomb in my heart. And I could understand that here is someone, Srila Prabhupada, who knows the truth. And what he's saying echoes in my heart. Just like the conch is blowing the heart of the Kauravas, or the conch is blowing the heart of the Dwarka Vasis, for different purposes, different feelings. One is feeling excitement and one is feeling fear. When Nishingadev appeared, Prahlad was in ecstasy. Hiranyakashipu was not so much in ecstasy. The same Lord, the same sound vibration. Even Lakshmi Devi was afraid to approach Lord Nishingadev because there was awe and reverence. And Prahlad had sweetness and full surrender. So when there's full surrender, there's no fear. Like A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he's Abhay Charan, he's fearless. Why is he fearless? Because the Lord has completely revealed to him. And we have so many pastimes in the Jaladuta, in different occasions, when the Lord personally manifests to him. Actually, I heard a little video clip from him, and he's saying that he's very emotional in the video. It's a small clip when Prabhupada is actually crying. And he's saying that I was dreaming with my spiritual master, and I was horrified because he was telling me to take sannyas. Prabhupada is saying he was horrified. He said, but then I pursued that instruction of my spiritual master, and I crossed the oceans. And then Krishna and my spirit sent all of you young boys and girls, and he starts crying. When he understands, or he's revealing, sharing with us, that he's receiving the hug of Krishna, and he's being reciprocated, he's in pure ecstasy. So like this, all of you doing so much service for your spiritual master is definitely making your spiritual master extremely happy. And as a reciprocation, your heart is becoming open for the greatest secret of Srimad Bhagavatam, the darshan with the Supreme Lord. And that's what's going to happen here. The inhabitants of Dwarka, they're going to lament why the Lord was so long time away from them. And he needed to meet them again and again. Okay, Mataji, is that okay? I think our time is over by 2 minutes. So to not get chastisement from the temple and from the prasada, I'll end here. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanandi.